You stare at a blank piece of parchment. You want to build a world from scratch, and as that first drop of ink expands into a continent, the instinct is to make the land feel real. But creating a realistic climate system means grappling with meteorology, a chaotic network of interacting planetary forces. To do this accurately, you would need to track atmospheric pressure, map out the distribution of solar heat, plot wind currents, and calculate the exact latitude, altitude, and distance to the ocean for every region. Trying to balance all these elements simultaneously creates a mathematical bottleneck. You end up crunching numbers instead of drawing a map. Striving for true meteorological science is often a trap. It can sacrifice the creative process from mathematical complexity. Moving past the math requires a different approach. You can rely on basic spatial logic rather than atmospheric calculation. To establish a climate, start by plotting two opposing anchor points on your map. The first point represents the absolute coldest region, usually high-altitude mountain ranges covered in snow. The second point is your hottest region, forming sweltering lowlands or dry, rocky deserts. These two extremes are plotted far apart. This creates the climatic tension needed to fill out the rest of the continent. These two poles provide a spatial structure for the continent. You've established an environmental logic without needing a single atmospheric equation. With the poles locked in, you can focus on the blank geographic space lying between them. Look at the gradient on this map. As we bridge the icy peaks and the arid desert, the middle space naturally resolves into cool and warm transitional zones. Because they avoid the harsh extremes, these central regions support consistent rainfall and abundant vegetation. This setup leads to the concept of experiential logic, how a character actually experiences the geography as they travel across it. The rule is specific. The local weather phenomena a character encounters must always align with the physical terrain they currently occupy. If your characters are caught in a desert storm, the logic of the map demands that they are currently positioned within a desert terrain zone. Believable climate design relies on a specific illusion. The local weather must always reflect the surrounding spatial biome. By using spatial anchors instead of complex meteorology, the resulting map feels authentic. This works because audiences look for logical consistency within your design. They aren't checking your map against rigorous atmospheric science. Once this climate framework is in place, it becomes the foundation for all other forms of life on the continent. That foundation allows you to tackle the next layer of world building, deciding where different plant and animal species can survive. Curious, looking forward. Next time, we will see how these weather patterns dictate the specific plant and animal species that populate your map. Realism in world building stems from prioritizing spatial logic. That logic drives the environmental details that make a map feel alive.